Hey everyone, it's your boys. Zack. And looks like it's all dying over there. And we are going to cover his LAX comic book right here today. Welcome to JDA Talks Comics, guys. Now, your boy Zack, if you are not familiar with him or our channel or whatever, came on the scene in 2017 in midsummer or so, and I actually made him famous. Much like I have a bad habit about doing this. I made him famous, and I made the quartering famous. So I'm sorry, guys. It's my bad. That all actually parlayed into Comicsgate, which is also my fault. So I would like to apologize for all of that in advance. Look, I saw these guys just like you did back then, or maybe didn't. They were YouTubers. They were funny. They were interesting. They were in our spaces. With your boy Zack, he was tearing up comic books from the mainstream, entertaining stuff, and reviewing it. And I agreed with a lot of what he was saying about the wokeness in comics, right? And so I thought, you know what, this is a guy on our side, and he's getting big, so let's champion him. Now, I didn't run YouTube at the time, and I should have, because if I ran YouTube back then, I could have just ran this movement and gotten it bigger, when everybody was paying attention to comics still, unfortunately. But I was writing articles for The Federalist, and I was writing about the culture war for them. So what happened with Zack is I wrote an article about what he was doing after I wrote an article about Marvel Comics, which went viral. And what's interesting is when you write these articles like this on news websites, nobody cares about who the article writer are, right? That's actually how the quartering gets big, right? Is he read a lot of articles and just got big off of that. And this is his secondary getting big. The first getting big was, again, my fault. But like he'll read an article by me or whatever, and then he'll get extra followers for it. Nobody will go find the article writer, right? And so the YouTubers would get big. I'd write an article about your boy Zack and what's going on with like this culture war movement and the like. He would get a big boost out of that, and nobody would come over to me. And of course, these people would never, because they're just egomaniac YouTubers who get big. They don't ever even thank you for that. They don't try to bring you up either. Like, it's really, really sad. And so it's like, okay. So eventually I started my own YouTube channel, kind of realized that did not work for actually converting people to a side and getting things going. But your boy Zack, got over 100,000 followers, and of course then turned on everybody the last couple of years. He's now just become a generic shitlib in comics that just attacks Eric July over and over and over again, attacks Nerdrotic over and over and over again. And has really been just dropping his channel ever since. Now, he also, during this, put out a bunch of books and crowdfunds that he never delivered on. And he'd just do crowdfund after crowdfund, and it seemed like one crowdfund was paying for the rest. Comicsgate did much the same. Ethan Van Sciver has all these open crowdfunds that, who knows if anybody's ever going to get their books. And that killed a lot of momentum in the movement, too. So while everybody tuned out of mainstream comics because they're just woke, comics are gone, then everybody tuned out of the the movement to replace them because, one, these guys weren't actual culture warriors. Your boy Zack and Ethan Van Sciver don't care. They're just about their own little grifts. And then it just killed all interest in comics all the way around. And so that's where we're at as an indie movement right now. And that's what we're trying to change. And we're trying to build something different here. So if you wanted that back, if you want to build the movement from scratch, guys, I know a lot of people are burned out on comics. And the real truth about comics is if you comic fans are very, very particular. If you're a Daredevil fan, and Daredevil starts to become like a woman, for example, like they have now, you just stop reading Daredevil. You don't go pick up a different comic, typically. And that's where the mainstream industry doesn't realize what they're doing. Same thing happened in crowdfunding. Your boy Zack did this. It's not like people then went and found other folk. I've been crowdfunding this entire time, delivering, making fans, doing great stuff with my books. And it's not like the people from your boy Zack came over and actually supported my stuff, which is unfortunate because we could have really built this further. Now, we're starting it now, and we're building it, and of course, we're building a wonderful thing. Things are growing very, very well. And the way I want to do things is I want to get you on my Substack. Now, Substack is just a free speech platform. And there's a couple things on here. You can read my comics for free because I just want people to read comics. Flying Sparks has sold more than 5,000 copies through the years, which I appreciate. And now I'm just making sure everybody reads it so they understand this. And maybe, as this grows, I can build a superhero universe out of this because people want to read this. There's another front on this. You can pay $5 a month. It's like a Patreon, right? And you can, of course, support the art that I'm producing that's coming out right now. And that's great stuff. I do have exclusive comics for people with that, and I appreciate everybody who does so, whether you're just reading or whether you're supporting on that level too. So check this out. It's in the description below, and I really appreciate you guys being here. Sign up for the Substack. So important that I stay in touch with you because not only is there this going on, we're building it, but we never know if I'm going to find you with the algorithm again. Very, very important. Thank you guys for being here. It's in the description. Let's get into this news. So that's my background on you, Boi Zack, in case you don't know who he is. So he's really crumbled things, and his campaigns have really gone poorly in recent years, right? 183 backers. My last comic book crowdfund did about 350 as a channel, tenth of the size. And so that's where he's really caused a problem these days. But the main deal we're going to get into is this $3,102 here. Now, the artist is Canales. And Canales I'm actually working with, and I'm actually doing something much better with than this. And I'm actually playing to his strengths here. He's got a somewhat of a just kind of like a rougher, gritty style. And so your Boi Zack used this. This is a parody comic, right? And I stopped doing parody comics. I swore off them because I knew they're a bad idea. That's what got me originally on Kickstarter's radar for they didn't approve my Andrew Tate parody comic, which caused a problem. And so I'm done. I'm not doing parody comics anymore. I learned my lesson that I shouldn't do that. It just slows my momentum and it confuses the audience. And they confuse the audience here because they're looking at your Boi Zack. It's like, wait, you got a weird lesbian with the shaved head and mohawk. Haven't you been railing against that in comics the whole time? He's like, yeah, but I want to present it differently, right? And it's a joke, right? And it is meant to be a joke. I understand that. But it still is like, why are you spending your time doing this, right? And it's pretty just ugly to look at because the character design, intentionally, was that way. Well, that's a tough sell. And so he had a tough sell to 183 backers. And he's also got a tough sell because, people were backing him for the cause, not for his, great story ideas. Your Boi Zack doesn't really have great story ideas. They've been pretty bad, most of them. And so there's been a couple okay ones. Iron Sights was really good, which actually had the same artist. I'll give credit where credit's due. We don't just blast. We tell the truth. And so you have this situation where his stories have not been that great. They're always late. You never know if you're even going to get them. Some people still haven't gotten them. You've got he's blasting all the cause that you followed him for. And so this is where it goes down to 183 people still follow this from his 89,000 channel. Does he have 89,000 still? Let's go. Comics Matter. Okay. 88.9. Okay. Last week he was at 89,000. He has dropped now below 89,000. My goal is to catch up to you, Boi Zack, and I'm excited to do so. We'll see when that happens. So we're going to hit the like and subscribe button as that goes along. But he's doing the same thing, right? Okay, so origin of a toxic lesbian. Okay, this is the stuff that people wanted out of him. But he goes back to conservatives are anti-audience, right? And again, cool. Well, your audience are conservatives. And so I guess when you blast the middle-aged, depressed conservatives who are your audience, who buy your books, they don't come in and buy your books, Zack. That is something that's a problem when you do that. And that's exactly what we had here. Beyond the concept and all that, I really think that if he had just been on the right track, he probably would still have 500 to 1,000 backers backing something like this to begin with. But this is more than a failure on just the backers, which is a huge problem. He's got 183 people left that believe in his work whatsoever. Now, he did this. This is the number that's a big problem, $3,000. He did this on a $15 book, which is like a 24-page book, I think. Pages. Does he even say how many page? Page. He doesn't say how many pages on here. I'm going to guess it's just going to be a short book, right? It really doesn't say. But he's doing it all in black and white, so it is cheaper to print. It is cheaper to produce. But let's just get into what this is. And so you've got a color cover, at least, and this very, very simply. So let's do the math behind what's going on here. Now, what's interesting about Kickstarter is he did not, this Kickstarter in particular too, he didn't charge shipping. It was just $15, right? And so that includes shipping. So you already have. So you have to have, and how many are backers? 183 here. Okay. So does 3102 even go into 183? Let's see. 183 times 15 equals what? Two. So he sold a couple other things in here also. So let's just say, okay, it's 3102 gross revenue. Let's do the math here. This is very fun. This is riveting stuff, I know. So that's what he's got right there. So Kickstarter takes 10%. Whoops, I forgot to put a point in there. So Zack gets after Kickstarter cut. So not only that, but so he sold some back catalog in here, which is fine. That's all profit for him. So let's just say he's got 183 books, which to do a black and white book at a regular rate, let's just say it costs him, let's just say he printed 200 times one, let's call it 20 for a black and white book. So that costs $240 to print. So then you got shipping, right? You got to equal 183. Let's call it like $7 shipping for all the materials, and then like a $5.50 like a media mail order, right? Shipping, printing. So this is, and then let's see what we got here. So let's got Canales. Let's say he's really cheap artist, right? And Zack is giving him $50 a page, right? Which is below professional rates. Like, I mean, the lowest professional you'll be able to get is usually about $75 for black and white. And that's like a low end, like not so great professional. But say your boy Zack's very, very thrifty here, and Canales just likes working with Zack for whatever reason. And so he did this, and so he gave him 24 pages, right? And then let's say he did a cover, and that cover with cover. So Canales art costs $150. So you have a total expenses of this plus this plus this plus this. 2,871 is your total costs. So your net revenue is going to be your after Kickstarter cut minus this, and remember that's to sell old books too. He's total revenue. Zack lost money on this project, is what it comes down to. And this is generous. If Canales' art is actually $75, I mean, he lost a lot of money on this project. And that's really, really sad. So that is where your boy Zack's at. That's where the problem is lying now, just completely done. And so I expect him, this is what I'm going to speculate on. I'll expect he'll do one or two more projects, and then he's going to completely bow out of making comics at all. I think that's what's going to happen. Maybe it might be as many as 3 projects, but that's what we're going to see, because he's not going to get this to pick back up. It's not going anywhere. He's having problems all the way around. And let's get back to this. A big part of your boy Zack's cause, which a lot of people don't realize, is that Kickstarter had allegedly banned him over politics. Now, you'll note this project's on Kickstarter. So he was not banned over politics. That never happened. They've been lying about that for years. This was a lie that was propagated by John Malin and propagated by Ethan Van Sciver. And they say to this day for Comicsgate, you're not allowed to be on Kickstarter. Zack put this on Kickstarter, not Indiegogo. And Indiegogo was the only place you're allowed to sell your Comicsgate comics. It was a lie. These guys have lied about everything the entire way. There's only one creator who was banned all the way on Kickstarter for politics, guys, and that was me. And so I'm not a big fan of Kickstarter or anything like that, but just know that what they do is completely dishonest through this entire thing, and this is a big reason why Zack was supported. He lied about that and just let that go the entire time, never said anything about it, and just went on Kickstarter for his book. How does that make you feel? Do you feel like a chump? Like, I mean, it's like, geez, I do. I supported those first Jawbreakers books, and it was for the cause. I mean, this guy was a leftist. He hates conservatives. He's ranting about conservatives on his site. He doesn't deliver his books. He was never actually banned on Kickstarter. It was all a lie the entire time, and that's why this is going to fail. And honestly, the next one's going to do worse in terms of backers, because he's just going to keep losing people at this rate. It's actually sad. I find it tragic, and I always root for him to turn around. I would root for everybody to turn around. I want I would love for a conservative movement to actually have real values in comics, to actually try to bring back comics again and bring back real heroism into comic books. That's my goal here, and I hope you're with me, my friends, and I hope this was entertaining for you. But your boy Zach's losing a lot of money in addition to losing a lot of subs on his YouTube channel. Big problems. All right, hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out my Substack right here, and this is where it's at. And I can do a comparison, by the way. So right now, my Valiant Frontiers, this is novels, so it's not even comics, right? Well, the great part about this is novels will eventually get sold on Amazon. And while I've got premium editions that will not be there, like I won't sell hardcovers on Amazon, right? These hardcovers, once they're gone, they're gone. They're going to be beautiful. This leather-bound Oration War, which is my original sci-fi trilogy, I showed you my leather-bound books before. Don't miss this, right? Here's the deal. Like 6,800 over 100 backers, I don't have art costs. I have my cover costs, and that's it. That's already covered. And so it's all just sweet spot profit right now. And most people are just getting ebooks because I sell ebooks. I'm not even printing these. So even though this has 100 backers right now, and I think I'll have 180 or so, but by the time Valiant Frontiers is done, as a novel, it's going to be a big win. And then when I get on Amazon, my books usually sell 1,000, 2,000 copies on Amazon too. So this is now paid for itself. The Amazon is going to be gravy as it goes along and keep selling on Amazon because people will just read the books for the sake of the books on Amazon. That's what we meant to get going as a movement, right? It's very, very interesting to see how this goes. Now, I appreciate you guys, of course, for supporting everybody who does, and I hope you will get the leather-bound book. And but more important, sign up for the Substack just so you start reading. Join our movement. Join our Discord. We're getting things going. We are doing what your boy Zach and Ethan promised and didn't deliver. And I really appreciate that you guys are around. We're making it great again. We're going to make these comics great again. We're going to make sci-fi great again. We're going to make the culture great again. It all starts right here. Thanks for being here. We'll be back soon.